After the Attitude Era was over, Vince McMahon ushered in a new era in WWE when he told his employees during a televised promo that he wanted people with ruthless aggression.
So I want to know here tonight, as you stand here on my ring, which one of you has that quality? Who among you has that one single ingredient? Who has enough ruthless aggression?
Now, even though the Ruthless Aggression era had many key figures, there's no doubt that one of the main faces of WWE at the time was the Animal, Batista. As one of the most memorable superstars in WWE history, in his prime, Batista was a dominant force known for his impressive physique, intensity, and impact on the business. His career had its ups and downs, but today, we will only focus on the ups. This video will discuss just how good Batista was in his prime. Chapter 1. Debut. Batista made his WWE TV debut. He would become physically involved on a number of occasions, and his distraction of the referee late in the match allowed Chris Jericho to attack Triple H and cost him the match. It was an impressive debut for the future world champion, who was treated as the physically imposing monster of a man that he was. During his journey to the top, Batista experienced a few bumps in the road, initially plagued by injuries, including a triceps injury that kept him out for much of 2003. Chapter 2. Evolution. Evolution, formed in early 2003, was a dominant faction of Triple H, Ric Flair, Randy Orton, and Batista. This alliance helped Batista improve as a wrestler and gain exposure on the microphone. In the fall of 2003, Triple H lost the World Heavyweight Championship to Bill Goldberg and put a bounty on the new champion. No one knew who would collect, nor did they know when. But all questions were answered on the October 20th episode of Raw, when Batista returned from a triceps injury and attacked Goldberg. He delivered an impressive Batista bomb to the world champion before grabbing a steel chair, wrapping it around his ankle, and stomping down on it. Goldberg's ankle was shattered, and Batista was Evolution's latest member. By Armageddon 2003, all members of Evolution held championships, a testament to their dominance. Batista and Ric Flair won the World Tag Team Championships, Triple H held the World Heavyweight Championship, and Randy Orton captured the Intercontinental Championship. Despite initial plans for Randy Orton to be the breakout star, fans started gravitating towards Batista due to his impressive performances and physical presence. Batista was the good soldier, standing quietly in the background. At the same time, Randy Orton was given the majority of the attention. But soon, his no-nonsense attitude won over the fans, and the Animal would break out on his own as one of the top two babyfaces in the sport. His slow burn storyline with Triple H began to take shape towards the end of 2004. Tensions within Evolution rose after Randy Orton was kicked out from the group, setting the stage for Batista's eventual face turn. Batista's star truly began to shine when he won the 2005 Royal Rumble, earning a shot at a world title at WrestleMania 21. Afterward, he had to make a choice. He would either stay on Raw and face his Evolution mentor Triple H, or go to SmackDown and challenge JBL for the WWE title. The build-up to WrestleMania was masterfully executed, with Batista seeing through Triple H manipulations. On a memorable Raw moment just weeks before WrestleMania 21, Batista revealed himself as the smartest man in the room, outsmarting Triple H and powerbombing him through a table. He would then sign a contract to challenge his former mentor for the world title at the granddaddy of them all. The iconic moment when Batista turned his thumbs up into a thumbs down, signaling his intent to challenge Triple H, is one of the greatest moments of the Ruthless Aggression era. Then the highly anticipated match arrived. Batista versus Triple H at WrestleMania 21, where Batista defeated Triple H to capture his first World Heavyweight Championship, solidifying his status as a top-tier talent. Their feud wasn't quite over yet, though. The rivalry peaked at Vengeance 2005 in a Hell in a Cell match, which was brutal, bloody, vicious, and intense way to close the book and trilogy. The two titans in the ring used everything they had in their arsenals on one another. In the end, it was a Batista bomb onto the steel ring steps that would spell the end for the game and would solidify the Animal as the better man. Batista's performances during this period were pivotal in establishing him as a main event player. He consistently demonstrated his physical prowess and ability to engage the audience. Chapter 3. Eddie Guerrero. Batista's storyline with Eddie Guerrero in 2005, culminating in their WWE Tag Team Championship win, showcased both wrestlers' dynamic skills and storytelling prowess. Their storyline was a mix of camaraderie and underlying tension, driven by Eddie's famous lie, cheat, and steal persona and Batista's straight-laced, no-nonsense powerhouse character. The storyline kicked off with Eddie Guerrero showing unusual respect towards Batista. In one notable promo, Eddie praised Batista, saying, "You are what this business is today. You are greatness." One of the most interesting angles involved Eddie Guerrero trying to deceive the World Heavyweight Champion, claiming to have turned a new leaf while fans knew he was still the same old lying, cheating, and stealing Eddie. As he was with Triple H, Batista remained one step ahead of Guerrero. The story came to a head at No Mercy in 2005 when Batista defended his title against Guerrero in the main event. It was Batista's first chance as champion to defend against a truly great wrestler like Eddie. Later, one of their highlights as a tag team was their match against M&M, where Eddie faked an illness, leaving Batista to handle most of the match. Eventually, Eddie tagged in at the last moment to secure the win with a frog splash. There were also backstage segments that further developed their story. A memorable moment involving Batista pretending to arrange a doctor's appointment for Eddie, which led to a comedic scene involving a fake prostate exam. This storyline was a good example of how to mix intense in-ring action with humor and showcased both wrestlers' versatility. The storyline was building towards a deeper betrayal, hinted at by various incidents where Eddie's actions almost harmed Batista, such as the chair incident during a match against M&M. However, Eddie always played off his mistakes convincingly, maintaining the illusion of friendship while sowing seeds of doubt in Batista and the fans' minds. Tragically, Eddie Guerrero's untimely death in November 2005 cut the storyline short. The plan was for Eddie to eventually turn heel and feud with Batista over the World Heavyweight Championship. This storyline had the potential to be one of WWE's most memorable feuds. Batista's babyface run alongside Eddie Guerrero was a storytelling masterclass, blending action, humor, and emotional depth. Their partnership remains a cherished memory for fans who grew up watching the Ruthless Aggression era, showcasing Batista's ability to play off Eddie's character while maintaining his own strong persona. Chapter 3, SmackDown's Babyface. Batista would reach new heights as a singles competitor and would carry the SmackDown brand as its top star. Always in the title picture, always expected to carry the banner for the show, he did so admirably and proved to be one of the top draws in the business. During Batista's time as a babyface in WWE, he engaged in high-profile feuds with top heels like JBL, Booker T, Edge, and Vicky Guerrero. His presence as a babyface was marked by a mix of physicality, charisma, and a connection with the audience, making him a fan favorite. After being drafted to SmackDown in 2005, Batista quickly targeted JBL, leading to intense matches at the Great American Bash and SummerSlam, including a street fight. JBL described Batista as a powerhouse who brought a new level of intensity to the ring. Their rivalry was crucial in establishing Batista as a dominant champion on SmackDown. During this time, he also became Rey Mysterio's tag team partner, and the pair won the WWE tag team titles and feuded with M&M and Mark Henry for a while. The Animal was on fire in early 2006. Unfortunately, life happened, and he was injured, being forced to relinquish the world title. After his return, he still had some good matches with Mr. Kennedy and Booker T. The feud with Booker T was marked by their on-screen rivalry and a notorious real-life altercation backstage. As King Booker, Booker T reinvented himself alongside his real-life wife, Queen Sharmell, after winning the King of the Ring tournament and clashed with Batista for the World Heavyweight Championship. Then, it was time for Batista's feud with The Undertaker, widely regarded as one of the best rivalries in WWE history, to showcase Batista's skills and cement his status as a top performer. We will briefly cover this feud here, but if you want an in-depth analysis of this legendary rivalry, just click the video on your screen right now, since we have already done a video on it. This feud began in early 2007 and continued throughout the year, seeing Batista facing The Undertaker in multiple high-stakes matches. The feud kicked off with a highly anticipated match at WrestleMania 23, where Batista defended his World Heavyweight Championship against The Undertaker. This match was particularly important, as The Undertaker's legendary WrestleMania undefeated streak was also on the line. Despite losing the match, Batista delivered an impressive performance that earned him praise and respect from the fans. In other words, these two tore the freaking house down. The intensity and physicality of the match showcased Batista's ability to hang with one of the all-time greats. Following WrestleMania, the two continued their rivalry with a last man standing match at Backlash and a steel cage match on SmackDown. Both encounters were brutal and showcased Batista's resilience and toughness. Their feud culminated at Survivor Series 2007, where Batista faced The Undertaker in a Hell in a Cell match. This match was praised for its storytelling and physicality, further solidifying Batista's reputation. Batista himself reflected on his matches with The Undertaker with pride, acknowledging the significance of working with a legend and the opportunity it provided to elevate his career. In interviews, Batista has expressed respect for The Undertaker, highlighting how their matches pushed him to improve and deliver memorable performances. In contrast, while notable, Batista's feud with the Great Khali didn't achieve the same acclaim as his rivalry with The Undertaker. The matches with Khali were characterized by their focus on Khali's sheer size and power, which sometimes limited the in-ring storytelling and moves. Nevertheless, Batista adapted to Khali's style, using his athleticism and strength to produce solid matches. Then, Edge joined the Blue Brand, because they desperately needed a good heel. Edge was an excellent dance partner for Batista, who desperately needed a character that contrasted his. Edge's alliance with Vicky Guerrero, who was SmackDown's general manager at the time, created many obstacles for the animal. Edge acknowledged Batista's athleticism and ring presence, stating, "He was a guy you had to prepare for differently. His size and power were unmatched." Their matches often involved interference from La Familia faction, composed of Chavo Guerrero, Kurt Hawkins, and Zack Ryder. As the general manager, Vicky Guerrero used her power to stack the odds against Batista, often favoring her boyfriend Edge. Vicky once said, "Batista's ability to connect with fans made my job as a villain easier. The crowd's reaction to him was always electric." Throughout these feuds, Batista's performance as a babyface was characterized by his ability to generate sympathy and support from the fans. His natural charisma and physical prowess made him a standout performer during this period. His rivalries with these heels solidified his status as a top babyface and produced some of the most memorable moments in WWE history. Chapter 4. Tweener. Batista's feud with Shawn Michaels in 2008, following Ric Flair's retirement, stands out as one of the most intense and personal storylines in WWE history. The rivalry was fueled by Batista's anger over Michaels' role in retiring his mentor, Ric Flair, at WrestleMania 24. This storyline showcased Batista's abilities and his versatility as a performer, because this was when Batista's character started behaving more like a tweener than a regular babyface. For those of you who don't know, a tweener is a wrestling character who walks the gray line between good guy and bad guy. The tension began when Shawn Michaels retired Ric Flair with the heartfelt words, "I'm sorry, I love you," during their WrestleMania match. Batista, who held Flair in high regard, was angry and confronted Michaels, accusing him of selfishly ending Ric Flair's career for his own glory. Batista's anger was palpable, adding a layer of authenticity to their feud. The details during this time were perfect. During Ric Flair's retirement speech, which was as real and emotional as any WWE segment will ever get, Batista managed to stay in character when Shawn Michaels entered the ring to say goodbye to Ric. This was because Batista's character felt Shawn Michaels was responsible for ending his mentor's career. The feud started with a grudge match in April 2008 at Backlash, where Shawn Michaels faked a knee injury to gain an advantage, eventually defeating Batista. This deception further fueled Batista's anger. Their rivalry escalated in June 2008 at One Night Stand, in a brutal stretcher match. Batista, driven by vengeance, declared, "I don't love you, and I'm not sorry," turning Michaels' own words against him. Despite Michaels' efforts, Batista emerged victorious, showcasing his dominance. Throughout the feud, Batista demonstrated his prowess in the ring and microphone. His promos were filled with genuine emotion, reflecting his deep respect for Flair and his disdain for Michaels' actions. Batista's physicality in matches against Michaels was a testament to his endurance, while his ability to convey complex emotions added layers to his character. Reflecting on the feud, Batista admitted that the storyline was one of his favorites, due to its personal nature and the opportunity to work with Shawn Michaels. The Batista versus Shawn Michaels feud is remembered as one of the most emotionally charged and well-executed storylines in WWE history. It showcased Batista's ability to carry a main event storyline, highlighting his skills as both a powerhouse wrestler and a compelling character. The feud also reinforced Shawn Michaels' status as a master storyteller in the ring. Batista's performance during his feud with Shawn Michaels after Ric Flair's retirement was pivotal in his career. It demonstrated his versatility and solidified his status as one of WWE's top stars. The storyline's intensity, coupled with the involvement of Chris Jericho, created a memorable chapter in WWE history that fans still talk about today. Chapter 5. The biggest blockbuster of the summer. Brock Lesnar's abrupt departure from WWE led to Cena and Batista's star becoming more urgent, and both quickly shifted up the card. When Batista was drafted back to Raw in 2008, it was the first time the two had been on the same brand. A collision of the two biggest babyfaces of the Ruthless Aggression era was inevitable. SummerSlam was the stage for their first ever one-on-one match, and the storyline focused on their near-identical rise to the top, one which saw two constantly compared and each aware of the other. As WWE tends to do, rivals were forced to team up in the build-up to their match, and Cena and Batista became World Tag Team Champions, if only for a week before dissension in the ranks inevitably exploded. As something of a surprise, Batista was the winner at SummerSlam, one of a few men to defeat Cena clean during this time. Cena suffered a legitimate neck injury in the match, putting any long-term rivalry on ice for the foreseeable future. However, this was not the end of the John Cena versus Batista rivalry. Let's put a pin on it for now. Chapter 5, You're Supposed to Be My Friend. After turning heel against Rey Mysterio following their fatal four-way match at WWE Bragging Rights 2009, Batista entered a significant and memorable phase of his WWE career. Batista became the most compelling and entertaining heel in the WWE. This period is noted for Batista's intense and compelling feud with Mysterio, showcasing his versatility and ability to play the heel role. The heel turn occurred after Batista, Rey Mysterio, CM Punk, and The Undertaker competed in a fatal four-way match for the World Heavyweight Championship. After The Undertaker won, Batista snapped during a post-match interview, accusing Mysterio of betrayal and attacked him viciously. This dramatically shifted Batista's character, transforming him from a beloved face to a menacing heel. His first heel promo, explaining to Rey Mysterio why he attacked him, was fantastic. I'll tell you what you're thinking. You're thinking what little effort it took for me to hurt you so much. You're thinking, what am I going to do now that I don't have Big Dave watching my back? You're thinking, I wish I never stabbed Dave in the back. And now you're thinking, what's Dave going to do to me if I don't get out of this ring right now? Another great promo he cut was explaining why he should be a world champion and putting a spotlight on himself. The best bit when he said, everything about me screams, World Heavyweight Champion. Following the heel turn, Batista and Mysterio had several notable matches. Their match at Survivor Series was particularly brutal, with Batista delivering a relentless beatdown that forced the referee to stop the match. This feud continued to develop over the following months, culminating in hard-hitting encounters that further cemented Batista's reputation as a top-tier heel. The best matches in their feud were the pair's steel cage match and street fight, and both took place on SmackDown. Batista's heel turn against Rey Mysterio was critical in his character because it reinvigorated his character. Batista's ability to embrace his new role and deliver compelling performances was widely acknowledged, and this period highlighted Batista's versatility as a performer. Chapter 6, Jealousy Breeds the Best Rivalries. Batista had now become a heel, a villain who only cared about himself, his wants, and his own career advancement rather than his friends or fans. A fully fledged rivalry between Cena and Batista finally happened in 2010 with a series of matches between the pair. By now, Batista had turned heel and sided with Vince McMahon in his feud with Bret Hart. Cena took the side of the Hitman. As a reward for Batista's help and punishment for Cena, the Animal was granted an impromptu WWE title match versus Cena at Elimination Chamber 2010, just minutes after Big Match John had won the belt himself. Batista's quick victory over an exhausted Cena set the stage for their rivalry, drawing heat from the crowd. During their feud, Batista delivered some of the best performances of his career as the company's top villain. His explanation to Cena on why he did what he did was amazing, explaining how the torch was passed to Cena from Stone Cold. Not only was it a fantastic promo, it was arguably Batista's best career promo. He was given more time to talk and delivered entertaining promos each time he got on the mic. Who could forget the iconic kissing babies and hugging fat chicks line? Man, talk about heat. The build-up to his focuses again on the parallel rise, but with a twist. Batista could not understand or handle how Cena was made the #1 guy over him. Batista claimed he was the biggest name and star in the company, to which Cena retorted that the Animal did this for money, while he did it for the moment. Batista referenced Cena's neck injury at SummerSlam 2008 and promised more of the same. Their rematch at WrestleMania 26 saw Batista dominate much of the match with his power, but Cena's resilience shone through. Despite Batista's relentless assault, Cena managed to lock in his submission hold, forcing Batista to tap out and cementing Cena's status as the top face of the company, who regained the WWE Championship. The feud continued with brutal encounters, including an Extreme Rules Last Man Standing match. In this match, Cena used a creative finish by duct taping Batista's legs to the ring post, preventing him from answering the referee's count. This match highlighted Batista's ability to sell a grueling fight while showcasing Cena's ingenuity. The climax of the rivalry came at Over the Limit in an I Quit match, where Batista showed his willingness to put over Cena despite knowing he was leaving the company soon. Cena's relentless attacks eventually forced Batista to quit, and Batista's departure was marked by a memorable moment when Cena threw him off a car, even after conceding the match. The following night on Raw, after Over the Limit, a beaten and battered Batista sat in a wheelchair and professed his disgust for the WWE fans for accepting Cena as a hero given what he had did to him the night before. In one of the great heel promos in recent history, Batista played his egotistical bad guy to the T. The brilliance and humor of the promo came in the sight of the Animal sitting in the center of the ring and whining like a spoiled brat. At the end of the promo, Batista quit the WWE in a storyline temper tantrum about his treatment. Chapter 7, The Beast was indeed unleashed. Despite his rocky return in 2014, his overall impact on wrestling remains profound. As we mentioned at the start of this video, today's focus was only on PRIME Batista. Everyone can agree that the final chapter in PRIME Batista's career was the segment where he sat in that wheelchair and quit the company. Batista's legacy in WWE is incredible. In an interview, he emphasized the importance of storytelling in wrestling, stating, "I want it to be all about my story. Everything else is secondary to me. I think more guys in this business should have that outlook." Intense rivalries and achievements marked Batista's prime years in WWE. His dedication to storytelling and his physical presence made him a standout performer. The Animal is a 6-time World Heavyweight Champion and WWE Champion, and his contributions to the industry have been recognized with a Hall of Fame induction in 2020. He was a larger-than-life figure that, in all honesty, was something WWE lacked for years until Roman Reigns peaked as the Tribal Chief. Champions will come and go, but no one will ever look better with the big gold belt around their waist than 2005 Batista. If you watch this video all the way to the end, chances are you want to watch more of the Animal during his prime. As promised earlier, check out this video where we go in depth into The Undertaker's rivalry with Batista. See you soon.